Okay, right, so I've got a TWR-5 here. This one's designed with a reader board inside it, so used with antenna panel. Once you plug the antenna panel in, you've got some scales in there, either wireless or wired. Animal comes onto the scale, and the weight will come up on the scale, and it will turn on the antenna and grab a tag, and that will go in against the weight of any other information you want to put against that animal. So we've got three buttons on the screen. We've got new, resume and history. So new to start a new session, resume to resume the session you were just in, or history where you can go and look at your other sessions, and you can actually go right into your session and see statistics. And you can add new animals to an old session, but we would recommend you didn't. When you're going to do new animals, sessions are just containers for capturing what you're doing that day, whether it be weights, life data, traits, activities, treatments. So every time you go and do something new, you're best to add a new session. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to settings to start off with, because we need to set this up. First thing to look at, we've got a list of stuff here. We've got equipment, connections, data fields, device settings, templates, drafting rule sets, and a software upgrade. These update over the cloud now, and they will do it automatically when you sync, but you can force an upgrade if you want to by pressing software upgrade. Equipment connections, a few things here. Load bars. So what we would do if we're doing wireless load bars, we would click on this, and we would select wired or wireless. If we select wireless, it will go and look for the actual wireless load bars and connect to those wireless load bars. Obviously, when I plug in the wired load bars, it will see the wired load bars. If I want to go in, I can actually change the type of load bar it is, or even create my own custom calibration. So that's something worth doing if you've got a set of bars that aren't quite right. They're an old set of bars maybe, or they're from a different manufacturer that's not quite right. You can go in there and do your own custom calibration. With our wired load bars, you should plug them in and they'll work perfectly straight away without having to go in and do that. So that's your load bar connection. EID reader, we've got four options here. Panel reader, this is where you can plug in that antenna I spoke about, and as the animal comes in, it will be picked up by the internal reader in here. So that's your panel reader. Serial reader, not used that much these days, but if you've got a serial cable on a reader, you can plug it in and you'll get it serially. Bluetooth, most readers that are not our antenna one, or you need to use another reader that you have that's just Bluetooth, you can connect up to your Bluetooth reader, whether it be a panel reader on the side of a crush or a crate, or a handheld reader. And USB, that's used for in the wool shed for scanning barcode tags, or tags that have been printed from the actual electronic tag when you're doing fleece weighing. So generally, if you've got a TWR-5, you would use the panel reader because you'll have an antenna with it. But as I say, if you've got a handheld reader or whatever, you can still use your Bluetooth. Here we've got the drafter, so we can set up a number of drafters. Again, serial or Bluetooth drafters. If I go for serial, say, there's a list of drafters including our own. So all of the probably well-known manufacturers of drafters are here, and you can set up your own draft protocol as well. You can create your own custom one as well. But that we've got them covered pretty well here. So you can just call us for advice on that one. And we go back here. We've got these data device connections. Now we can accept input over Bluetooth, Wi-Fi or serial from various data devices like OV scans, Tapari or Automed dredge guns, etc, etc. We can send data out to various programs like AgriWeb, whether it be an iPad or an iPhone, and some other programs as well like StockMate, and all these sort of mobile devices. So each data device channel can do a different thing, and if you do choose to go along the path of getting something that you want to plug into it, you can just call us for advice and we'll let you know if it will work. But most things you can plug in serially will work, and of course you can connect up, as I said, via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. We come to now the data fields. Now, when you want to create data fields, you've got four real types, I guess. You've got life data. Life data is things that stay with the animal all its life, like sex, breed, date of birth. Traits. things that change over time that you record against an animal. Live weight is a trait, for instance. You record live weight 1 month, you record it the next month, you've got a difference of 30 days and of course a difference in weight, and that's how you get your weight gains. Things like preg tests or condition scores would be a trait. Then you've got activities, things you're just doing to the animal, drenching or marking, etc. And then we've got a new one, which is treatments. That's where we're actually treating the animal with a drug or whatever, a drench, etc. And we want to put in other information about that treatment as well. We want to put in things like batch numbers and expiry dates and withholding periods. So, for instance, life data. Let's go in here. When we first get it, there's not a lot there. If I want to add some life data, I get some options. These are sort of standard options in here, and I can add my own custom life data. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put in breed. So here there's some options. I can add my own options as well. So if I've got other breeds, I can put those in as well. I'm just going to put Angus for the sake of this and go done. And now I've got Angus in there. Save. And I've added breed. So I'll go back and I want to put a trait in. Traits, I can add a new trait. I'll put in a condition score. So I want to put in condition score, save that. And also I'll add another one, which is, I'll put in wet or dry. I'll save that. So I'll go done. So now I've got the life data, I've got the traits. Actually, I might add some more life data in there. I'll add another one. I'm going to pop down there, there's more here. I'm going to add in sex as well and save that as well. I'll go done there. So, and activities, I won't put in an activity that's just doing something to the animal, but I will put in a treatment for these animals, and I'm going to put in a 7-in-1. So now I'm going to create a custom one, and I'll put in 7-in-1. So I'll just type it in here, and I'll use the keyboard to do that. 7, space, I-N, space, 1, 7-in-1. Go next. Now here is all of the information I can put in against that treatment. This stays in this field against this particular treatment. You don't have to have extra fields now to put in data, extra data. You can do it all in here. We've got the type, we've got a numeric treatment, a calculative treatment, or we can make it just an activity. So the numeric treatment is where I just actually put in a number, so many mils or whatever. Calculative treatment is I can actually do it, if I'm doing a drench, I can actually do it off the weight of the animal, and it will calculate it for me automatically. Also with a numeric treatment, if I've set up one of those drench guns I mentioned before, the Depari drench gun or the AutoMed drench gun, I can connect up those via Wi-Fi, and I can choose for it to go into that numeric treatment. So I can actually put a weight onto the scale, an animal onto the scale, get the weight, send the dose over to the weight over to the gun. It will calculate the dose, give the animal the dose, and send the dose back into this particular treatment. So very, very time saving if you're doing that. We've got our withholding period and export slaughter interval. I don't think 7-in-1's got one of those. And we've got the minimum dosage amount. We've got 0 to 100. I actually get to put in the amounts when I come to create my session, the amounts that I'm going to give the animal. So what I'll do is I'll save that. And now I've got a 7-in-1 in there. So let's pop back here, and you can see I'm starting to build up these data fields here. So that's enough for now. What we'll do is we'll go back out, and we'll go into a new session. So we'll create a new session. And now here I can do a quick start where I can just go in and start to add my fields, or I can create a template. Templates are really useful for doing things you're doing during the year, weighing, you might be doing preg testing, you might be doing inductions, marking, etc., and you're doing various things to an animal during those periods, and you can put those data fields in there ready to go in a template, so you can just choose the template and it'll set the data fields up for you, and even the drafting that you want to do all in one go, and then you can just start weighing those animals in a new session. But for now I'll just do a quick start. So I'll hit quick start, and here we come with the quick start screen or the collect screen. I'll go to options and I'll click on this, and I'll name the session. Always good to name your sessions so that when you go back gives you some idea about what you were doing at the time. So I'll clear that, and I'll just put in test for this one and go done. Now my data fields. We put in my data fields. I need to have ID or EID enabled to be able to do this, so I'm going to enable that. And here's the ones that I've set up before. So I've got 71 breed, condition score, sex, wet or dry. So I'll just select that. I'll select that one, and notice they're putting extra numbers here against it. This is the order that they'll appear in as they come onto the screen. You can change this order just by deselecting it and changing the and selecting it again, so it will change the number or the order that it comes in as. They're done. Now look at these defaults here. So we've got defaults. So if I go to a breed, for instance, this is where I can edit it. This is where I can choose the Angus. If I go to condition score, I can look out on the animals and say, yeah, well, they're probably all about a 3. So I'll do a 3. If I look at the sex, I go edit. Well, they're going to be female because I'm going to do a wet and dry. And if I look on here, I'm going to make them all wet. Now these are just defaults. So if an animal comes in, it'll get this default, and I can change it as I desire. But sometimes it's really a lot quicker, so you don't have to press the button every time to have a default, and you can just change it when you need to change it. The 7-in-1 I've left for last. Go in here and edit. I can put in the batch number. So I'll put in the batch number of, I'll maybe say AS1234, just making it up here, and an expiry date. So the expiry date is possibly 2024 1, and go done. So you would put this in off the packet of the treatment, and the dosage amount, again, I'll put in 5 ml. Go done. Done. And we're done. So now we're ready to go. So I'll hit save, and you can see here all these fields are set up. So when an animal now comes in, we'll be ready to go, and all of these fields will be populated. The tag will be picked up as the animal comes in. A weight will come on in here, and once that weight is locked on, we can let the animal go and then go on to the next animal.